Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Very famous poem. Have you heard it before? It's a very famous poem. So what is it saying? Yeah, everybody has choices. We all have choices. Is it saying, you better, if there's a fork in the road, there are two paths. All right. Is he saying that the path that he took, that he regrets it and would have it's taken the other one? No, he's not saying that. Is he saying that the path that he took was the better one? No. He's saying that there is no better path, or that the one path does not supersede another one in terms of quality. You take the path that you take, and that's the path that you take. All right? There is no, I should have taken the other path. Because you don't know what would have happened. You think you know what would have happened if you would have taken the other path. Now, we're not talking about something like, a gang member who has a choice to go to college or remain a gang member. Obviously, we know that that's not tantamount to what Robert Frost is talking about. That's a choice of life or death. If you're a gang member, two things are going to probably happen to you. You're going to die, or you're going to end up in jail. You go to college, you may die, you may end up in jail, but the odds are very, very low compared to what you have been doing. All right? So he's talking about like everybody, adults, sensible adults, we have choices to make. Okay? When you graduate, you're going to have choices. You're not just going to have one job offer. You're going to have two job offers. Now, the job offers may offer something close in salary, or there may be a difference in salary, but you like the one that pays a little bit less because that's really what you want to do, versus something that pays a little bit more, but you're not feeling that really. So what do? You may decide, it's your choice, but you may decide to take the one that pays a little less because it may be closer to your home. It may be more advantageous for your family or something. It may be something you feel more comfortable with in terms of your skills, even though you got both jobs.
Or you can take a job, or you can go with continuing education. You have two choices for that.
Yeah. So you can take that choice, and even though you're making maybe $5,000 or $10,000 less, all right, you can't really say, "Oh, I regret it because instead of having an Escalade, I have a Nissan Maxima." That's not bad, all right? So Robert Frost would be like, in The Road Not Taken, he's like, there are no regrets when it comes to sensible decisions like that, because because if you would have taken the job that paid more, and you would have gotten that Escalade, you don't know what the future of that situation would have been, and you don't know if that situation would have been necessarily better than what you're doing. You could be making 6 figures and be miserable, and make 5 figures and be happy it happened. Personally, I don't know how that is. I haven't experienced that. I'd like to real soon, but it's a reality. I know a lot of people, who make a lot of money who act like they're not happy. I'm like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? But they're not. They're not. They're always They're not satisfied. They want something more. They're like, maybe I'll go back to school. Go back to school. It's like you've conquered it, right? I mean, you guys know the founder of Google, the guy who founded. And we're talking. No, not Google, but Amazon.com. Because like I'm in love with Amazon.com because you can buy everything on Amazon.com. I mean, you can buy toothbrushes. I bought a Sega Genesis. I'm 35. I'm like, I'm gonna get my teenage years back. So I bought a Sega Genesis. I bought NBA Live '98, John Madden football. So I'm playing that. You know, my friends are looking at me like, what are you doing? You know, but I'm having the time of my life. You know, I'm playing. You know, Live '98 and everything. And every time I forget that PlayStation stuff or whatever, forgive me back what I grew up on. I got Kobe Bryant and Shaq playing, you know. And so I bought this on Amazon.com like $100, and the games are like $10 and everything, and it works great. All right? So I wonder, I'm like, this is such a great idea. You can buy groceries, vitamins, everything on Amazon.com. And they have Amazon Instant Video. You can watch videos like Netflix. They have everything. I'm in love with Amazon. So I'm like, who is the brainchild behind it? So I look him up, and I find out that even though he's very successful in everything, he really cares about what people say about him in the media. So in the article, it's like he gets very upset when people say anything like negative about his company. So I'm like, who cares? You're a billionaire and everything. How can that get to you? Yeah, but how can that get to you? I don't understand.
That's his passion.
Yeah.
When you have a passion for something and you have customers, you always want to hear what they have to say. Because the negativity is like, okay, how can I make it better? You always want to make it better for somebody.
Yeah.
And you think you've done the best, and you hear something negative about it, it bothers you.
Yeah, it
No matter how
bothers
you could be
and
there. It doesn't matter.
as successful as he is. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, but again, I bring up the example not to say that he didn't make a wise decision. Very successful man. But who's to say that if he took a lesser path or a different path that didn't pay as much or whatever, that he still would have had that same care about what people thought about him. That's what I'm getting at. Care about what people think about your work. Now, we all care. We can't say that, you know, sticks and stones may break our bone or whatever. But it seems like, you know, B.I.G. said the more money you have, the more problems you have, right? I think it's interesting, you know, if I work in a lower capacity, I may not care as much about what somebody thinks about what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is such in a small frame work of, you know, of publicity is what I'm talking about. But I guess what you're saying, if you're in the public limelight, I mean, think about the superstars and the celebrities. They care about what the tabloids say. They care, even though they're set for life. You know, they have respect. They have fans. They have fame, notoriety. People worship them. You know, but they care about what the tabloids say. You know, I'm smiling because I'm like, why do you care what they say? I mean, they say they don't care, but they care though. They do care. I remember when, you guys know Prince. When Prince was going out with the beautiful Maite, I'm a big Prince fan, with the beautiful Maite, and he did the interview with Oprah, and they said, you know, we heard your baby, because they had a baby, we heard your baby is not doing well or something. And Prince said, the baby's fine, never mind what you hear. Next day, National Enquirer, Prince's baby dies of Puffer syndrome, a rare brain disorder thing, and it's true. So the baby was not okay. But Prince doesn't want to talk about that. Okay? Now, that's a private matter no matter who you are. But you can see that it hurt him that that's out in the open. But why would that hurt him so much more than it would hurt somebody else about, you know, something like that? You know, so the publicity about personal matters, that's the extreme, bothers the rich and the powerful.
Yes.
it bothers the rich and the powerful. So the rich and the powerful, I mean, like I look at them and say, I would give anything to have what you have. And they'd be like, you got it wrong. B.I.G. What did he say? I mean, and like he said it with like he was nervous. More money you have, more problems, man. And I'm like, well, give me some of those problems. But I guess if I'm there, I'd be like, man, I wish I was working in a grocery store. You know, I don't know, I don't know. But hey, with more money, I can tell you this: with more education, comes more responsibility and more complex problems you have to solve. Okay, and that can be. I mean, it's good that you get the reward from that, but if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not worth it. Yeah. All right, so that's the road not taken. Let's look.